Hello, my name is Ilona, and in this video I'm going to take a look at a few countries. I've made a Dutch video and I looked at Romania, Suriname, Ireland and Antarctic. I will make sure there are English subtitles with that video because I'm not going to do a recap. That's really too much to do. And so if you're interested in those countries, you can take a look at my Dutch video. Like I said, there are going to be English subtitles. And this video will have Dutch subtitles, and I'm going to take a look at Canada in this video, Australia and Japan. Interesting countries. Well, first I'm going to start with Canada. We all know that the supposed leader actually went to Mr. T in Mar-a-Lago because, well, there's talk about these tariffs. And he really needs to get a grip on his country and all these people coming into the States. Otherwise, he's going to have a lot of tariffs, and that's going to have an effect, of course, on the export and things like that in Canada. But it's very interesting to see. And if you see those, those pictures, you can really see that he's just, Mr. T is in a completely different realm than, of course, this Mr. T, if you even want to call him. It's more, well, I don't think he's on that level anyway. But it's interesting to see. So he went there and wanted to talk about things. And I actually saw somewhere a clip, and I just don't remember where. I think it could be with Benny Johnson, maybe on a video. And he mentioned actually that Mr. T talked about, Trudeau, Castro, whatever you want to call him. And he actually called him in that. There was a picture of him. Apparently he wrote about this in some kind of book. And he mentioned that the mother of Trudeau was a big fan of Castro and thought that he was the sexiest man alive. And it's very interesting. And he mentioned something about the hair of Trudeau because, of course, his so-called father barely has, doesn't have, or I'm not sure if he's still alive, but he didn't have a lot of hair. And apparently Trudeau does. Well, it's very strange. And I thought that was quite amusing that he actually mentioned something like that, because we all know there is a lot about his, who his real father is. But I just thought that was funny. I think I saw it in a clip from Benny Johnson. Well, I'm going to take a look at Canada. What's going on there? We've got the Five of Cups. We've got the Queen of Cups for the central card. We have the Nine of Wands in the past. And we have the Eight of Swords. Underneath the Queen of Cups, and then we have the King of Wands in the future and the Queen of Pentacles. So I do think the white hats are going to take over, and a female influence may be put forward. I'm not so sure about that, but with the Queen of Pentacles, it could also mean that there's another energy coming in, a more caring energy. But I do believe that the white hats are taking more and more control in Canada, and I think the person who's running around now for Canada is not going to last very long. There's a lot of sadness, disappointment, a lot of feeling powerless, not being able to control anything anymore. So I do believe that the black hats are losing control there. And also the people in Canada are becoming more intuitive and understanding from their heart what's really going on. I do believe that the Canadians are pretty fed up with everything that's going on there. And they've pretty much had enough of all these political things that are happening. And I do believe that it's going to fall, this government and how it's been operating. And certainly with the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands in the past, the white hats have been working there for quite some time. And I do believe they're going to be shown more and more. And I do believe it's going to fall apart there, the government in Canada. Interesting to see. But, they can't get out of anything. They try things, but it's all a disaster and it's all sadness. And it's really a losing game for their side. It's a losing game. Australia. I want to take a look at Australia. Let's see. I want to make myself a little bit decent. Let's see, Australia. Oh, we got the moon. Nothing is what it seems. We've got the Three of Cups for the central card. We have the Ace of Pentacles in the past. We have the Ten of Swords underneath the Three of Cups, and we've got the Star card in the future and the Temperance. So this is interesting. Star card and the Temperance is really about healing, balance. Star card is about positive times ahead, also alien influences. So I do think a lot of healing is being done there as well. If I'm not mistaken, is it the heart chakra that is present on Australia? I know there's a like chakra around the world that are, you know, the equivalent of the Mother Earth chakras. And I believe it is the heart chakra. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I do know that there is a lot of healing necessary in Australia. A lot of things have happened there as well. And aliens are working with that as well. Doesn't mean they're going to be openly working, but they are in the background. I do believe that it will take some time before we start to see that. But we've already seen things happening, coming out. Like I said, there was a hearing in the United States about the UFOs. It's an interesting thing, the times that we are in. But as we can see here, nothing is what it seems. There's going to be something radical happening as well in Australia. And that probably has to do with politics, change or something happening. Ultimately, there will be celebrations, but it will take some time. And not everything that we see or not everything that's coming out, you know, we have to watch out, see what's really happening. I do believe in Australia, a lot of things are pushed through. If I'm not mistaken, they're now pushing through that. If you're under 16, you won't be able to connect with social media. A lot of things like that are happening, and I think that is good because people are getting really tired and fed up. We also know that what has happened the last, well, in 2025, it will be 5 years ago, what I'm talking about, what's been happening. In Australia, it was bad. There were awful restrictions going on there, and I think it had to do with waking up people, unfortunately, the energies, and there was a lot of negative and dark energies there, and it's all moving now, but there are going to be very sudden changes happening in Australia. Or it's time, it's also possible that the Australians really need to take a stand and, you know, this is enough. We've had enough of this. And that will bring in some celebration. But nothing is what it seems. So it could even seem like there's a celebration for the dark energies, but ultimately it will work against them. Because like I said, there's a lot of healing going on and a lot of support from outside the realm, the earth realm. That's the feeling I'm getting. So that is Australia. And now I want to take a look at Japan. Japan. A lot of things are happening there, and someone wanted to take a look if there's still something happening nature-wise, you know, maybe with flooding, tsunami, water like that, because in Japan they are really stepping away from the stinks, which is very interesting to see. There have been multiple research concerning the sting, and it's not very positive. So Japan is really taking a different turn there. But I'm just going to see the energy of Japan, if there's going to happen something with nature. Let's see if it's in the cards. We've got the Hanged Man. That's interesting. We have the Emperor as central card. We've got the Five of Wands in the past. We have the Empress. So that's interesting. The Emperor and the Empress. We have the Page of Wands for the future. And the Knight of Cups, and I see here also the Chariot. So these are powerful cards. I think Japan is really in a transition. I see here these combination. If you really look at the Emperor, it's of course the sacred male principle here with the sacred female principle. Still things need to happen. So I can't really see here anything happening nature-wise. So if something will happen, I don't think it's going to be like massive escalating, but I'm not seeing anything in the cards about that. I do see a complete change complete change of energy, and I think that has to do with what they're doing now. They're really stepping out concerning these things, different way of looking at things. I see here that the white hats are more and more coming out there. Knight of Cups means that they'll bring things to the forefront, so people can talk about that. So I do believe in Japan a lot of things are going on there. I would have, with this one in the past, that things in the past have happened concerning also nature, but I don't see that happening in the future, not in these cards. I think they are moving away from those things, but doesn't mean nothing can happen, but I think it won't be as massive as probably the dark energies had in mind. I think they are losing the ability to really control that anymore. So this is very interesting with Japan. I'd like to leave it at this and hope to see you in another video. Bye.